Hello everyone, my name is Christina and welcome to my channel where I take you along with me during my weekend baking projects. Today I am going to be showing you how to make these individual lemon tarts. The first step to making individual lemon tarts is to make the tart dough. To begin, place 1 stick of softened butter into a medium-sized bowl. Then sift 2/3 of a cup of powdered sugar over the stick of softened butter. Next, you will add 3 tablespoons of almond flour, a pinch of salt, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract or paste. I am using vanilla paste from Trader Joe's in this recipe. Using a wooden spoon, you will stir the ingredients together until the mixture is smooth. This will take a couple of minutes. You will then add 1 whole egg to the smooth mixture and stir it until combined. When the egg is fully incorporated, the mixture will turn slightly yellow in color and have a grainy texture. Next, you will sift 1 2/3 cup of flour over the mixture. Using the same wooden spoon, stir to combine. Continue to mix until all of the flour has been absorbed into the dough. The dough is the correct consistency when you can pick some up in your hand, and when you squeeze the dough, it stays together. Now you will gather the dough and form into a disc shape. Putting the dough aside, get a piece of plastic wrap that will be large enough to fully cover the disc of dough. Place the dough in the middle of the plastic wrap and gently press the dough into a slightly flattened disc. This will make it easier to roll out once it has been chilled. Wrap the flattened disc completely with the plastic wrap. You will then place into the refrigerator to chill for 2 hours. After the dough has chilled for 2 hours, you will take it out of the refrigerator. You will know that your dough is chilled enough when it is very firm to the touch, and when you try to press your finger into the dough, it will barely leave an indentation. Lightly flour your work surface and the outside of the disc of dough. Then cut your dough into 4 even pieces. The recipe that I am using is for 1 9-inch lemon tart, but I do not own a 9-inch tart pan. Instead, I am making the recipe into individual lemon tarts. Place all but 1 piece of the dough to the side. Generously flour your piece of dough to ensure that it won't stick to your work surface. Continue to roll, turning your dough a quarter turn every 2 to 3 rolls. This will help your dough begin to turn into a circle. If your dough starts to stick, add a small amount of flour and continue the rolling and turning process. As your dough circle gets larger, it will be harder to turn. I found that using a bench scraper helped to keep the dough from sticking to the counter. If your dough starts to crack on the edges, it is perfectly okay. Just gently press the pieces back together to seal the crack. You can place your tart pan over the center of your dough to ensure that your dough circle is large enough to fit into the pan. Once you are happy with the size of your dough, gently wrap the dough around the rolling pin and place into the center of your tart pan. Gently push the dough into the bottom and sides of your pan. If the dough cracks, just push it back together with your fingertips. This process may look a little bit messy, but keep gently pushing the dough into the tart pan and it will slowly come together. You might be discouraged while putting the dough into the tart pans when you start to see the dough crack, but don't worry, the dough is very forgiving, and if you take your time to gently press the dough into the pan while pressing the cracks back together, the dough will take the proper shape. Once your dough is evenly pressed into the bottom and sides of your tart pan, use your rolling pin to roll over the top of your tart pan to remove any excess dough. Use the excess dough to fill in any gaps of dough in the tart pan. You will then continue the rolling and forming process with the rest of your dough pieces. I ended up having enough dough scraps left over to make a 5th tart shell, so this 9-inch lemon tart recipe makes 5 4-inch lemon tarts. Place your individual tart shells on a parchment-lined baking sheet and use a fork to poke holes into the bottom of your tart crusts. This will ensure that the dough does not rise when baking. Place tart shells into a 350-degree oven and bake for 15 to 20 minutes or until golden brown. Let cool completely. While the tart crusts are cooling, make the lemon curd filling. To a small saucepan over medium-high heat, add 2/3 of a cup of sugar, 3 eggs, the zest of 2 lemons, and half a cup of lemon juice. Whisk to combine. Continue whisking until the mixture comes to a simmer. You will know that the mixture has come to a simmer when you see small bubbles starting to form around the edges. Next, strain the hot lemon curd mixture using a fine mesh strainer over 1.5 sticks of cubed butter in a medium-sized bowl. Use a rubber spatula to work the lemon curd mixture through the fine mesh strainer. You may find some small pieces of curdled egg in the strainer. This sometimes happens during the cooking process for the lemon curd and is why it is so important to strain the mixture before you add it to the cubed butter. Make sure to use the rubber spatula to scrape the bottom of the fine mesh strainer. You want all of the lemon curd mixture over the butter in the medium-sized bowl. Using an immersion blender, blend the butter and lemon curd mixture until smooth and slightly thickened. This will take 2 minutes. You will notice the lemon curd turn paler yellow in color, and you know it's the proper thickness when you can make a line with your finger through the lemon curd and the lemon curd does not fall off the end of the immersion blender. Now we are ready to fill the cooled tart shells with the lemon curd filling. Using a spoon or a rubber spatula, begin to fill the tart shells with the lemon curd filling. To make sure I had enough lemon curd filling, I filled my tart shells with the lemon curd 3/4 of the way first, and then went back to fill the tart shells to the top with the filling. Once I had all of the filling in the lemon tarts, I went back and I smoothed the tops, and then I tapped the baking sheet on the counter a couple of times just to remove any bubbles and to flatten all the lemon curd filling. After your tart shells are filled with the lemon curd filling, you will then chill in the refrigerator for at least 1 hour. We are now at my favorite part, which is decorating the lemon tarts and finally being able to taste them. I made homemade whipped cream, which is a combination of heavy cream, powdered sugar, vanilla extract, and a small pinch of salt. I whipped the mixture until it formed stiff peaks and then put into a piping bag with a large star tip. I then piped cream into the center of the lemon tarts. I then wanted to make the lemon tarts extra special by topping them with a strawberry rose. I found a tutorial on YouTube to teach myself how to make the strawberry rose, and even though they didn't come out perfectly, I still think they are very beautiful. I will link the tutorial that I found in the description box below if you would like to learn how to make a strawberry rose as well. I think these lemon tarts came out very well, and they are so beautiful to serve as an individual dessert. The crust is flaky and the lemon curd filling is velvety smooth with a perfect amount of tartness from the lemons. The strawberry rose, while being a beautiful decoration, pairs perfectly with the lemon curd flavor. Thank you so much for following along with my weekend baking project of making individual lemon tarts. I hope you enjoyed the video and are inspired to make these lemon tarts at home for your friends and family. Come back next week to see my next weekend baking project. Happy baking!